Welcome back to Bachelor Happy Hour's Golden Hour. Thanks for joining us today. We're so excited to be back. Another great episode.
Absolutely. We got a very special guest today, but be sure to check out our latest episodes because we always have so much fun answering the questions, chatting with our Bachelor Nation fans.
We do. And today, Susan, we have a very special guest. Please welcome from Grant season, Parisa. Welcome to Golden Hour, Parisa. How are you?
Good. How are you guys? Thank you for having me.
Every one of you are so beautiful. We have interviewed quite a few, and just one gets prettier than the next.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here today. And also I want to say congratulations on the new relationship. Oh my goodness.
I guess that's directed at Susan, Parisa, huh?
Your turn's coming, guys.
Yeah,
My
you're
turn's
next. You're next.
Right.
Your lips to God's ears, Parisa. So wait, where are you now? Are you in Michigan?
Yes.
Tell us, where in Michigan are you?
I'm in Birmingham. It's right outside of Detroit.
Ah, okay. So tell us, we got to get into some questions here. What have you been up to?
We've got a ton of things to ask. But
I know.
You just tell us what you want to tell us first.
And then we'll drill you, Parisa.
Then we're going to drill you.
Oh, no, perfect. We have been busy working. I've been trying, to meet somebody, but yeah.
Oh, let's talk about that, Parisa. I feel your pain.
It's when you least expect it.
That's Susan's moniker now. When you least expect it.
I'm not expecting anything, so.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
So I want to know what made you, because people ask us all the time why we applied for Golden Bachelor.
Yeah.
Why did you apply? What made you apply for the show?
So it's actually, really funny story. It was on my birthday.
When's your birthday? When's your birthday?
March 21st.
Happy birthday. Okay.
I'm a March too.
Oh, and I was just not in the best relationship. And it was on my birthday. It just was not a good birthday with, this person. And it was just so funny. I was on Instagram and I saw an advertisement, apply now for The Bachelor. And I'm like, you know what?
I'm doing it.
Yeah, we're applying.
That is exactly what I did. I saw an advertisement on Facebook for Golden Bachelor, and I went, I could do that. Click. I mean, I just didn't think about it, just clicked.
I didn't think about it. Yeah. And I thought more of it just like, you know what, I'm going to channel all of this negative energy right now in this application and, press send. And I'm hoping, and I never thought about it. And then I hear back, and I'm like, oh, wow. Okay.
Were you broken up at the time of the application, or were you in the middle of something?
Yeah, it was one of those relationships where I'm like, I will fix him. Parisa.
Parisa, it took me 60 years to realize red doesn't change its color.
Yeah, let's just give you this tidbit right now, Parisa. Here's what you can change on a guy. If you're lucky, you can get him to put his socks in the hamper. You do not change his character, lack of integrity. None of those things can you ever change in a man. Yeah. Ever.
Yeah. Well, I know that now.
Well, that's good. So you're ready for the next one. So I want to know if you could describe, like in one word, we always ask this question, what was your experience like on The Bachelor in one word? And then you can expound on it.
Life-changing is 2 words.
It's all right. We'll allow
That's all right. We'll take that. Well, that's an acceptable
Tell us
one.
How did it change your life?
It was definitely nothing I ever could expect. And it was, from day one, being a part of such a great group of girls, everyone was so welcoming. Yeah. And, right from the start, like, there's our sisterhood. And we needed that because none of us had our comfort, our family, our moms, sisters, best friends from at home to help us through this, dating journey. And so we definitely relied on each other. And it was just, an experience of, I guess also too, being vulnerable, not only opening up so quickly, during a kind of a fast-paced relationship, but also being vulnerable and showing all of that on TV with,
did you learn anything about yourself?
Yes. It was really interesting. I guess throughout the process, I wasn't really aware of how comfortable and open I was. But it was when I got home, you get your phone and you're going back on your socials. And I pulled up my social media page and I'm like, wow, It's funny. This girl, me on my, Instagram, that's not who I am. Like you know, was looking back and seeing like what I used to post, how I would post. And like, that was what I wanted people to see, like who I was. That's what you post on your socials, what you want people to see.
Right.
And taking a break from that, living in the moment and just being my true authentic self, being accepted. I forgot all about that.
Yeah. It's interesting, isn't it?
It is. But don't you feel like social media, we always, I think at any age, we put the life we want to have out there. We put what we want people to see. And so other people look at it and say, oh, I want the life that Parisa has, when really Parisa has the same struggles, right? And so we put out there what we want the world to see, not really necessarily the way our life really is.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's when, like when I meet people too, and I'll tell them more about myself and they're like shocked. And I'd be so sorry. I'm like, why are you shocked? And they're like, well, I wouldn't have gotten any of that, from your social media. I'm like, oh,
yeah.
I want to know more about your rocks.
Oh, thank you for asking.
I
got a big piece of fool's gold pyrite.
Pyrite.
If you need it to add to your collection, I got a huge piece.
I got one. Remember from Gary?
You got quartz.
Yes.
I got nothing.
Quartz crystal. Yeah. I love rocks. I just think they're so beautiful. I'm more like, I love the geology behind it. When I was younger, I wanted to be a geologist, and I loved the study of rocks, like rock formations, all of that. And I would go mining down south. There's, some parts like in Georgia and South Carolina, you can literally go digging for like beautiful amethyst and quartz crystals. And
did you find them? Did you find good
looking
ones?
for diamonds?
No, that's not the part of the world where diamonds grow. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
And then bugs?
So I also love entomology, so like study of insects and arachnids. I wish, I always wanted to just be a scientist when I was younger.
Okay, what do you do?
Wait, she is a behavior. This is where I want to get to. You're a pediatric behavior analyst.
Right. Yeah.
Tell me what that is, and can I send my grandchildren to you?
Of course. So I work in the field of behavior analysis, and basically it's all about behavior change, which is why I thought I could change my ex. So I love...
Was your ex 18 months old?
They acted like it. So.
Well, therein lies the problem. Okay, go ahead. Sorry. Keep talking.
So like in my field, I work specifically with children with autism, and we work on targeting behaviors or skills that we either want to increase, see more of. So if it's like something to do with, communication, skills, or targeting any challenging behaviors that, disrupt their quality of life. So anything from aggressive behaviors, self-injurious behaviors.
That's
and so you do therapy with them to try to change these things?
Yeah, so I work closely with like speech pathologists and occupational therapists, and we work on just like skill development. And then
I cannot believe you're saying this. My daughter's, my granddaughter's birthday was a couple days ago, and one of the children invited is 3 years old, and he's autistic. He was diagnosed about 2.5 years old, and I was asking the mom. It's exactly what you do. She was saying but she didn't call it a pediatric behavior analyst. She called it something else. But she was saying that it's been the best help because it encourages socialization with other kids. And, he's got his particular behavior is, at least at the party, he loves to put rocks where water is. So he was lugging rocks, like 50 of them out of my daughter's garden into the pool, the little children's plastic pool. Yeah. And I mean, he did it for like an hour. He just kept going back and forth. Yeah. And she said that they're working on trying to diminish those behaviors and encourage more socially, playing with kids, more social behavior. So I found it fascinating.
Yeah, with that, exactly. It's, so that would be our target behavior. And then we will find a replacement that is, it has the same function. So he, feels, he's getting the same feeling that he's getting when he, he's taking those rocks in water. And then we try now to associate that. So with social skills, we would want to associate that with peer play and just kind of like, promoting those social interactions. And, and I love it so much. I focus more with like play-based therapy because I want to make it as natural as possible.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's when a child is most engaged.
Doesn't it feel rewarding at the end, like when you're
Yeah.
working with children like that?
I love
So
I get
do you
choked
want
up about
children?
it.
Yes,
Do you
yes.
want children?
Oh, yes. Oh my
Wait,
God.
I just have to say, Susan, yet
Yeah.
another gorgeous,
Intelligent,
brilliant,
gorgeous.
intelligent girl. Not only is she gorgeous, I mean, lovely, you are absolutely stunningly beautiful, but she's articulate. She has a great career. Like, what is wrong with these men out there? That was a
So let me
rhetorical
ask you,
question.
let me ask you something. Is there anything at all, looking back, that you would have changed, had to do it again?
Like in my life in general.
No,
On the
about
show.
doing the show.
Oh, in the show.
Mhm. Any regrets or any
So I never live with regrets because I look at everything as just like a
as an
learning
experience?
experience.
Yeah,
It's like,
exactly.
oh well, next time we won't do that.
Next
Like,
time I'll do better, or I'll
Yeah.
try to do better.
'cause
And
you
that's
have
all we
to-
can ask. Yeah.
You got to make those mistakes in order to, to know in the future.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think the main thing was I'm not, the type to like interject myself into drama ever. But I think towards the end I did mentally. So I told myself, oh, we're not going to get in on, any of that. But mentally I did. And I think that
Yeah.
distracted me because now looking back, there were a few times like my one-on-one moments with Grant, like I wasn't prepared. And you have to be prepared because you're only given so much time. And if
Right.
you don't use that time wisely, then it's just like you're not able
Well,
to.
wait a minute. I want to know, because I kind of agree with you on my season with Gary, but I'm curious, what do you mean you weren't prepared? Like, can you give me some specifics?
So I feel like like going in on every group date or, during the cocktail hour, you want to be prepared with, okay, I'm, going to go grab him to talk. I want to talk about this today. And I want to make sure he knows this about me. And I felt very on top of it throughout my whole time there, except my last week. And I would ask myself as I'm walking to go grab him, I'd be like, oh, wait, what am I going to tell him now? And I
Start second guessing.
yeah. And I just wasn't, as prepared. And I felt like, yeah, there was, a couple times I missed my opportunity to tell him more about me and more about, what I'm looking for in my future.
So that's the question. What are you looking for? That is right where I was headed. What are you looking for in a partner?
So, and that's a great question. So I'm a woman of reflection and emotional awareness. This year was a huge year for me. I turned 30 and I'm doing that reflection, asking myself, okay, what do I want in my forever partner? And usually, those characteristics and, all of that stays the same. But there was a new thing now I'm noticing that I'm like looking for, and it's those qualities of like, and I use this word, it's my umbrella term, but I'm now looking for a man that has those daddy vibes.
To be not your daddy, you mean a dad. Well, the Oedipus complex is alive and well.
I know.
You mean a daddy for your children?
Yeah,
that makes sense. That makes sense.
Sure.
Yeah, like I want to look at the man that I'm with, and like I could hear my future child saying, "Don't worry, my dad will handle that," or "Don't worry, my dad will be there."
And it will happen.
And you know what? That is again so many attributes that you're looking for. I'm looking for. Susan's found, a man that makes us laugh, a man who's honest, a man who's trustworthy, a man who's fun, who makes me laugh, who has high EQ, all of those things. Yeah. But the one difference at your age is we don't want children. We're done with that. Yeah. So we're looking for someone. I would say the correlated, the corollary topic is we're looking for men that can integrate into our families so we can get to know their children. And, but you're wise to consider that because that's an important aspect of a partner.
I mean, I remember back when people would say, write a list. Like you don't go out in the world with this list. You kind of, sometimes chemistry is chemistry, right?
Yeah.
So when you came off the show, when we first started chatting today, you shared that trying to date. Did you go back on social media or dating apps?
Yeah. And it was just one of those things where I really did. I tried, but I think also too, it's just maybe the environment that I'm in, like I was born and raised here, and I left for a few years, and then I came back. I think I might just need to get out.
Come to Austin, Parisa. I will set you up. There's so many single guys here in your age group. It's crazy. Really.
So how about Paradise if you're asked? Would you be willing?
Oh, yes.
Okay, who do you want to see?
This is another thing. I am just so superstitious. I feel like I could name someone and then
you don't want to jinx,
ruin all chances. And then also too, it's fun to be surprised. I really don't know many like Bachelor alum men. And like, of course I started looking up guys, but then I'm like, you know what? Like,
I'm not doing this.
If you went, what would your strategy be? I'm serious. To meet guys, to pick what's your strategy? Because if I get to go, I'm taking your strategy. Go ahead.
So my strategy, I feel like, honestly, it's when you live in the moment and you're just having fun. I think my personality, just being playful, it attracts everyone. Everyone wants to be a part of that positivity and,
absolutely. Absolutely.
I agree.
But I agree with all that. And Susan and I are very positive and we're fun loving and people like to be around us because we laugh a lot and we're fun. Having said that, when you get there, if you go, there's going to be, from other seasons, there's going to be a slew of handsome 12-pack guys strolling on the beach and new ones coming all the time. So what's your radar? How do you pick out?
So if you're attracted to somebody, you'll walk, you're okay with going up and talking to them.
Oh my goodness. You got to shoot your shot nowadays. I mean, sitting.
How do you feel about another girl like in the same person? Would that be, you just did the show. That was different than Paradise.
Yeah, I know it's so different. If another girl liked the same guy, it would have to, I feel like that would just be a conversation, which would be just an easy conversation. It's like,
Parisa, I'm going to give you some good news. Do you want
don't
some
tell
good
her.
News? I'm going to give you some good news. If I end up going, you don't have to worry about me. I will not be going after the same guys that you would be going after. I just want you to know that.
God, right.
I'll support you in your adventure.
Thank you.
What did you think of the end of your show? Were you surprised who he picked, or did you kind of know? I was really torn with the last two.
Yeah, I know it definitely, I guess, it's hard because I wasn't there, during, hometowns or, the final three, all that. It's easier when you're there and you have like the inside look throughout, the
vibe. Yeah.
Like, you can see, the relationship developing, you can see connections, but then, since I wasn't there, then of course, it's a surprise because where I left off, I left off thinking like, okay, these are the relationships that are established. I'm sure it's going to go this way.
Yeah.
But I wasn't there to see how things unfolded after hometowns because so much, changes after, just even
for sure.
one little thing.
So wait, who were you really good friends with on the show? And are you still good friends with them? Tell us, I want to hear about the relationships other than
keep
Grant.
in touch with everybody.
Yeah, with everybody. I am really good. I feel like with all the girls, we've been hanging out as much as possible. We were, me, Serafina, Allie Jo, Kelsey. We were in Miami and then that was before AFR. Then everyone met up in LA. Serafina, me, Dina, and Latia were just in Chicago as well after AFR.
Fun.
I think we're all too in that travel time, in our life.
Yeah.
Girls trips and just
it's fun.
Yeah, it's so fun.
It's so fun. It's fun to see everybody and just catch up. Do you feel like the relationships are different off the show with the girls?
Think we're all so much closer now, for sure. And a lot of us too. It's when you're always mic'd up and the cameras are there, I feel like there's always some, everyone's a little bit hesitant to speak up about things.
Yeah.
It's just now it's like we're, nothing holding us back.
No, you can speak freely. All right. So Now we're going to get into our advice portion of our episode. And we want you to be a part of this. So people write in questions. Some give their name, some are anonymous. And we'd like your 2 cents on it, if you will, your advice.
Perfect.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All righty. We're going to start it off with the question of the day.
All right, here we go. All right. What advice do you have for anyone struggling with self-love and confidence? What says you? You have some good advice, Parisa, I'm sure.
Yeah. Self-love and confidence. My advice is do not seek that reassurance elsewhere. It comes from within. And
brilliant.
Good one. Very good.
Yeah.
Exactly the truth. Yeah.
And my one tip, because this was one thing that I did after a really tough breakup, I was living by the phrase, romanticize your life. So if, I'm a single woman, I live alone, I'm going to make myself dinner tonight. I'm going to make the best spread, the best presentation. I don't need someone to be sitting with me eating to, make that a beautiful sight.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing, Parisa, is I say this all the time. People say, I want to find the perfect man who will love me. I believe that you have to love yourself before you can even think about loving someone else.
Absolutely. And be comfortable in your own skin.
Right.
You can't pretend to be somebody else. And that was one of my issues when I met somebody and got started in a relationship. I would jump into their world and like everything that they liked. And 6 months down the road, you're like, what about me? What about what I want to do? You forget your own things, because you're excited and it's new.
Yeah.
What do you think about confidence, Parisa? Do you think a woman who exudes confidence is attractive to a guy, or how do you feel about that?
I think that's attractive to a secure guy.
Secure. And there's not many of them.
Yeah. And I think that's a great way to weed them out too. I mean, if you see a guy who's an issue with how confident and independent you are, then that's just someone that you don't.
I think it's true.
Yeah, it is. All right, now it's time to get into our listeners' write-in questions for today. And Parisa, are you ready to dish out some advice?
Oh, I'm ready.
Okay. This is from Anonymous. Ladies, I found out one of my best friends is the owner of a social media account that's been sending me hate comments for years. What do I do? Here's the story. The other night, my friend group and I were out getting drinks. My phone died, so I asked my best friend, Allie, if I could use her phone to show everyone a TikTok. She handed me her phone and went to grab us another round while I looked for the video. Well, she forgot to switch back to her real profile. And I checked the page's activity to confirm, and it really was her. She came back before I could find the video, so I just changed the subject. What do I do now? I don't want to be her friend anymore, obviously, but I really don't want to lose my group over this. How do I navigate this? Thanks, ladies. Wow.
What do you say,
She's better
Parisa?
than me that she slept on it.
Yeah.
I'd be right there.
It's always smart to sleep on.
Always smart to think.
Yeah.
Think before you act. Always.
Yes.
So my advice, I always ask first when someone's asking, advice. I always ask, what end result are you looking for? And then from there, you will know how to navigate to get there. So she doesn't want to be her friend anymore, which I'm glad to hear that, because that is not a friend. But it is hard because you share the same friend group. So, I feel like with that, it's asking yourself questions. Are you okay, with acknowledging, this is the situation, bringing it to her attention and just saying like, this is not what I want in my life. And so
would you ask her why? Why would you do that to me? You've been sending me hate mail from a fake account?
Yeah.
Who does that?
Wait a minute. But Parisa, all that's true, Susan. But Parisa, you wouldn't address it right then and there, would you? Because I wouldn't.
No, because also too, it's a setting. You want to recognize too the setting. It's like, okay, this is time and place. I don't think we would, it'd be productive for us to handle this. And I don't think I would get any of the answers that I'd be looking for in this situation right now too.
Right.
But again, it's just asking yourself, what's the end result you're looking for? If you really don't want to, break up this friend group, lose these friends, then you would have to ask yourself, are you able to tolerate then her being present? And, just you guys are still a friend group, but you have to tell yourself, okay, this is just someone who I'm
Yeah.
going to
On the periphery, keep them on the periphery.
Yeah, it's
I
like,
always say, don't ask someone that I always say, don't ask a question that you either know the answer to or you don't want the answer to. So
Nobody else feels like I do right now. Like I put myself in that moment.
Yeah.
She goes off to get drinks. I'm reading it. All your friends are standing around. I'm in shock.
yeah, but you're not going to bring it up, Susan, right then and there. I hope you
When
wouldn't.
she comes back, I'm going to hold it there and say, do you want to explain this?
Oh,
In
I
front
wouldn't.
of her friends.
Mm-mm.
Oh, yes, I would.
I know you
Yeah.
would. I wouldn't.
I know it. I will admit that would feel good. It would really.
Yeah.
But
feel
would it get you
so
ultimately the result you want? That's always, what's the end game? Like you said, Parisa, what's the end game? But this whole conversation brings me when earlier in the podcast we were talking to you about people say they're surprised about when they meet
Who
you
you
in
are,
comparison to what you put out on social media. What do those people say? Because I'd be curious. Like, this is the kind of thing when people have hidden accounts and such. So tell me what people say that is surprising about you.
That I'm, because I'm always posting the glitz and the glam. Because don't get me wrong, I love getting dolled up.
And when you're pretty, you like to post. Yeah, I don't want to post in my sweat clothes.
Yeah, no, so I love that. When they see that, I think that's all that they view me as, is like, another
A pretty face.
face. Girl dressed up, makeup, materialistic, superficial, those words are always like thrown in. But I mean, I think that's only just like the tip of the iceberg of, what I want to be shown.
But don't you think people who are thoughtful, who understand social media, would say that's just one aspect of her? I mean, I want to give people credit and say they would see that you're a beautiful, charming person, but you also have so many other sides to you. Maybe I'm wrong, but
yeah.
So you're saying people will say that you're just this glamour girl? That's how they describe you?
Yeah, no, I think the majority of the feedback I'd get, it's that, which is, it's fine, because I know too, like, the people that are close to me in my circle, they know who I am.
They know you.
Yeah. I always say that it's, I don't care what the bots on social media say. I don't care really what anyone says about me. The people who know me are the ones I care about.
People in your life. I mean, like, this is like another world that if I throw it, it's like, that world's gone. It's like,
I'll tell you, when we were on the Golden Bachelor, I didn't miss my phone at all.
It was the best thing
I never missed it. The only thing I missed was I knew when I got off the show, I had to deal with the thousands of emails that had come in that I had to delete once I got off the show. But I did not miss it because I was in the moment. People got to see the real me. So I loved that. I loved that.
I loved
well, Anonymous, you let us know. Here's the long and short of it. I would not bring the other friends into it. Deal with it quietly by yourself. Get a resolution that you can live with.
Yeah.
And let us know. Let us know.
And I wish you luck. And I feel for you, honey. That's mean.
It's terrible.
Not kind.
It is horrible. But social media sometimes isn't.
Yeah. And regardless if it's a boyfriend that, betrays you, or a best friend, like your world just flips.
Best friends are even worse. I mean, that's your best friend. Yeah.
That's your best friend.
I feel for her. And I'm sure it happens a lot.
Yeah. Well, let us know. Okay. So Parisa, we've gotten to know you a little better. We want to open the floor to you. Advice for us, questions, anything you want to know about us or advice you have for us.
Okay. I have a question.
Sure.
So this has to do with dating. So like with your approach with dating, how much has it changed compared to, when you were, in your 20s compared to now? Like, how much has the dating world changed?
Because then we met people outdoors, out at a social event, a bar, a restaurant, wherever. Now you have to be on, not have to, but most of it comes from dating apps. I marry people for a living, and 9 times out of 10, the couple that is getting married met online.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the way of the world.
I think I think Susan's right, but I also think, Parisa, there is a push to meet people more organically. I can say for me, I got married very young. I was 20 when I got married, by only 10 days. And I was married almost 46 years.
So she didn't date.
So I didn't date, but I can tell you the way I date now has dramatically changed for me since I came off the show. I mean, I've always been pretty clear about who I am, but I don't, people say, "Oh, give him a couple of dates." Yeah, I'm pretty good at sussing out pretty quickly.
I know, in 3 minutes.
and so I'm out. And you know what? I have learned. It's almost the opposite for me, Parisa, because I didn't date much. So I had a very steep learning curve after my husband died on learning how to date, and so I have learned very quickly a red flag is a red flag. You never turn them green. A yellow flag is something to pay attention to. It could go either way. I mean, those sort of things that we talk about all the time, I've had to learn really quickly.
And also we look for different things. From
right. I said,
age.
we're not looking for a daddy. We're not looking.
You're looking for your whole future. Where
I'm looking for a guy to have fun with, to travel with, to have shared experiences with, to be part of my family, be part of his. Like Susan and I say it ad nauseum. Like, this is the last chapter of our lives. I want it to be the longest, the happiest, and the best. And so, but I do think dating will change for you as you get older. Is your dating for you different now than when you were 20? I'm guessing it is.
She just said she knows now she's looking for something different. Like her list has changed.
But do you still care about the fun, the humor? Would you move, for example? Would you relocate?
Yeah. No, definitely. I think that was another thing too. A few years ago, I was always telling myself I'm looking for someone to grow old with. But then I'm like, I think life, especially during, today's climate, it's just so tough. And, there's so much negativity, and it's just, I'm looking for someone I want to stay young with. I want to have fun with and be
good phrase.
We don't have to.
So were your DMs blowing up after the show? Were you getting all kinds of messages from strange men? And
no,
not me either.
So funny. Here I am thinking, I'm like, if this doesn't work out, I might meet someone, through Instagram. And
Well, Susan made a very good point on another podcast. For our age, men are not on social media. They don't know how to DM. They're not on Instagram. They might be on Facebook, and they know how to hit the like button. But at your age, everybody's on social media, and that has its good side and its bad side, right? It's good and bad at the same time.
Yeah, I feel like it's tough now too, because I think a lot of people rely on that and they hide behind their screen. So now when we are in public, no one's coming up to me or anyone. We don't.
Well, wait, Parisa, what do you do for fun? Because that's another way to organically meet people. How do you get out?
I love traveling on the weekends as often as I can, going to new cities, trying new restaurants. I'm a huge foodie, so I love trying new restaurants.
And do you travel by group of friends that you go with? Or?
Yes. Yeah,
that is so funny. I was going to say, do you travel by yourself? And Susan said, do you travel with a group of friends?
With friends, or also having friends in other states is amazing, because then you just travel.
Go visit. Yep. It is. It's great. See the
Do you
world.
ask your friends to fix you? Like friends, if you have friends in Georgia, do you ask them to fix you up with guys?
Yeah, I'll ask if they know anyone too, and then it's just that hasn't worked out either. And then everyone's getting engaged now, and so it's like,
and that must put a little something in you too. You're like, why not me?
Yeah. My daughter said that.
Yeah,
that's exactly what my daughter said when she was 30. What's wrong? And my daughter's as pretty as you are, Parisa. And she was like, "What's wrong with me?" And I said, "There's nothing wrong with
and
you.
You're a catch." Expected it. She met him.
She met a guy. They were out on a boat on the lake here in Austin with a bunch of friends, and it was his boat. And so she chatted with him, and at first she thought he was sort of pompous. Anyway, they fell in love, and they're married, and they have a baby. So, but she didn't meet him till she was 31, I think.
Okay.
So you have plenty of time, darling.
Don't rush it.
I'm not in any rush, especially too. It's just like those things you don't want to rush. So that's forever.
Would you relocate? If you fell in love with somebody that?
Yeah, no, of course, my family, everyone's all spread out all over.
Yeah. So
where's your dream place? What's next for traveling?
For travel, So I have two, Montana and Utah.
I've been to both. They're gorgeous.
Yeah, I want to do a hiking trip, horseback riding, just anything with the outdoors, nature.
Are you a skier?
Nice.
Yes. I love skiing.
Utah's got some great skiing.
Yes.
And
Utah
so does Montana, actually. Well,
you know what? I think you're absolutely stunning.
You are.
Will find the
Yeah.
right person.
You
Oh
will.
my gosh, both you ladies as well. I thank you so much. And yeah,
I hope you go to paradise.
Yeah. I hope I go to
hope both
paradise.
of you go to paradise.
wow. Another
be-
life-changing opportunity, you know?
Life change. That's right.
And
And you know what? It's an opportunity, and you never know what comes from opportunity.
don't miss it. You don't want to miss it. All right, guys, believe it or not, that does it for this episode of Bachelor Happy
It
Hour's
went way too
Golden Hour.
fast. It
It
went too
always
fast.
does. Thank you so much, Parisa, for coming and dishing out good advice and just sharing your life with us. And we wish you all the best.
We loved having you. We loved getting to chat with you, Parisa. Really, you are lovely and intelligent, and you are the full package. So thanks for sharing part of your day with us.
And
and thank
anybody
you
out
all.
there wanting to be a daddy, have a family with a beautiful wife and a child, where to look.
We're celebrating you here, Parisa. We're doing it for you. DM her. But listen, thank you all for joining us. And please be sure to follow Bachelor Happy Hour. We have new episodes coming out every week that you don't want to miss. So
And make sure you submit those questions. You can go to bachelornation.com/golden hour or just DM us on Instagram at Bachelor Happy Hour.
it's a perfect way to do it. And don't forget to DM Parisa because she's a
Yes.
catch. Okay, listen to Bachelor Happy Hour's Golden Hour on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you listen to podcasts. Till next time, have a great week.
Ciao.